Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We're so happy to have all of you all here with us. We always begin our city council meeting with the word of prayer, so would you bow your heads, please? Most holy and eternal God, our Father, we thank you for your many blessings that you have bestowed upon us. We thank you for life, health, and strength. We thank you for another day's journey. We ask you to bless us as city council members and bless our city and all our citizens. We ask you to keep us safe and keep us healthy. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. We want to thank all of you again for being here. We want to thank our virtual audience for listening with us. Our first item of business, item number 1, we have consideration of June 16, 2026 City Council minutes.
I move for approval.
A motion has been made by Dr. Kalu. Second by Councilman Kidd. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. The motion is carried. Our second item is consideration of July 14, 2026 City Council special minutes. We would like to hear a motion for that.
Mayor and Council, I move for the adoption of the City Council special minutes.
Motion has been made by Councilman Kidd.
Second.
Second by Councilman Knotts. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. The motion is carried. We have item number 3, consideration of July 14, 2026 City Council budget workshop minutes.
I move for approval.
Motion's been made by Dr. Kalu,
Second.
second by Councilman Kidd. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. The motion is carried. I want to, those of you that are standing, here's some seats on the front row here by Chief and Captain Connor. If y'all want to sit down. Y'all good? All right. Thank you. Our next item is recognition of August Community of Character Trait. In August, the trait is courage. Courage is the mental and moral strength to face and withstand danger, fear, difficulties. And we ask everybody to adopt the character trait for August, which is courage. We understand that we lost Senator Lindsey Graham, who is a U.S. Senator in our state. And we have a resolution that we would like to read in the council setting for your hearing. And we do send our prayers and our love to his family. I'm not going to read all the resolution. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. Resolution honoring the life, service, and legacy of United States Senator Lindsey Olin Graham. Now therefore be it resolved that the city of Orangeburg honor the life and service and legacy of the United States Senator Lindsey Olin Graham and expresses condolences to his family, friends, colleagues, and all those who mourn his passing. The city of Orangeburg extends its gratitude for Senator Graham's many years of dedicated service to the citizens of South Carolina and the United States of America, adopted this 4th day, August 2026. Let's continue to keep his family in our prayers. Thank you.
Amen.
We're gonna ask the Youth Coalition. We're gonna ask this national group. We're gonna ask you to come. We have a resolution that we would like to present to you all.
You want me to wait or you just? Good evening. I count it an honor and a privilege to be here. My name is Vincent Sanders. I work at Tri-County Commission on Alcohol and Drug Abuse, the McCord Center, and I serve as the advisor of the Fearless Individuals Reaching Excellence Youth Coalition. And these wonderful students are from Orangeburg County, various schools, Edisto High School, Orangeburg Wilkinson High School, and Orangeburg High School for Health Professions, most notably. And they won the 2026 National Group Youth Advocates of the Year Award, and were honored in Washington, D.C. for their work in prevention, particularly related to tobacco prevention. And if it were not for the work and the collaboration of this wonderful city council, they would have not been given this honor. So we do thank you all for your due diligence in being very prudent and very how can I say, just being willing to work with us and understand the importance and the necessity of making sure that we protect our kids from the dangers of tobacco and vaping in our community. And if it wasn't for the city council, the work in our community would not be done in making sure that our kids don't further get into a life of substances. So before this, I do want to quickly honor, we do have some wonderful, wonderful alumni members from last year who are here. I want to honor, of course, I'm gonna just start calling names as I see you. I'm Miss Renaya Schuler, who is going to be a rising student at University of South Carolina, Columbia. Raise your hand, Renaya. Miss Sanaya Thompson, who is also going to be a rising freshman at University of South Carolina, and who was also served on the committee to interview for us to get this award. Miss Madison Ryan, who is also going to be a student at the University of South Carolina as well. Mr. Shivam Dave, who is going to be a student at the Citadel. Miss Destiny Clowney, I know you can't see her, but who is but a wonderful student who's going to be at University of South Carolina as well. And our President Emeritus, Mr. Zion Goldsmith, who's going to be a student at Morehouse College, and our past president, Miss Jakaya Robinson, who's currently a student at North Carolina Central University. Excuse me, Winston-Salem State, my lord, I am so sorry. Winston-Salem State University. I do want to, and Layla, who's also, Miss Layla Sumter, who's also going to be a student at Winston-Salem State as well. I do want to honor our current members, returning members, Miss Kimmeray Dash, Miss Madison Simpson, who is our vice president, Mr. P.J. Hubbard, who is our current president, Miss Cassidy Cleckley, Miss Mariah Ginyard, who is our secretary, and our wonderful new members, Miss Kirsten Wilder from OW, Miss Riley Wright from OW, Miss Nia Clark from High School for Health Professions, Kofi Piernes from Orangeburg Wilkinson High School, and who am I missing? Oh, and Miss Lyric Washington from Orangeburg Wilkinson High School. These students have done a tremendous job and are continually doing a tremendous job in our communities advocating for prevention. We know that 9 out of 10 people begin a life of substance use before they are the age of 18. And when you have easy access in your community to drugs and alcohol, that makes it more prevalent for them to get into that lifestyle. These students, before they ever leave this community, are making it a point to use their gifts and talents to advocate and to make sure that their peers understand the dangers of substance use so that they can grow up in a community that's safe, and also they can express themselves in the best way and not be taken advantage of by these big tobacco companies. So I want to thank you guys for your awesome investment in us. Also want to thank some of past members, Kennedy Banks and Tiana Whetstone, Chase Carter, Michaela Darby, so many others. Of course, definitely big shout out again to Madison and Zion, who served as really the rocks of our organization for the past 2 years especially. And thank you, huge shout out to City Councilwoman Miss Annette Grievous for her collaboration with us. We were able to host a community cleanup along with City Councilwoman Grievous this past March to, one, beautify our community and to get a lot of youth involvement, but also to bring awareness to e-cig and tobacco pollution as well. And so we appreciate her collaboration and being an extended arm of the entire branch of the Orangeburg City Council and what you guys mean to us. Again, we cannot do this without you guys and without you guys caring about the work that we do. So we want to say thank you. thank you, and thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
I want City Council to stand because all of the City Council members are so proud of you all as we read this. We really appreciate you all, and I want to stand on behalf of the City Council and read this resolution. It's a resolution recognizing the fearless individuals reaching excellence youth coalition for being named 2026 National Group Youth Advocates of the Year by the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of Orangeburg commends the Fire Squad for their leadership, persistence, creativity as they work to improve health of their communities and free South Carolina youth from the grip of tobacco use and narcotics addiction. The City of Orangeburg, by this resolution, recognize the fearless individuals reaching excellence youth coalition for being named the 2026 National Group Youth Advocates of the Year by the Campaign of Tobacco-Free Kids, adopted this 4th day of August 2026. We are very, very proud of you all. God bless you, and y'all keep on keeping on. All right? Now, I want y'all, we're going to turn this way so they can take a picture. Okay, we can come closer so they can get you close. I want y'all to get this good. Now, let's this is our current president. Where we looking? Let's look out there, somebody. Where we looking, Gene?
I already got the picture.
Oh, you got it. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate you.
Very good.
If you don't mind, real quick, I'd like to present this to City Councilwoman Grievous for her collaboration. I know you in your boots, so I'm not gonna make you calm down, but I will give this to you. Thank you so much.
All right. We are so proud of the young people.
Yes.
They have worked so hard to get the effort through, so we appreciate that.
Amen.
A lot of Gamecocks, no Tigers. I like hearing
We do have some SC State and Claflin alum, but of course they're on
Yeah,
campus.
we know.
They on
Yes,
campus right now. Okay, Mr. Every.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Good to see you all. Mayor, if I can, before I begin, I wanted to take a moment to recognize Mr. Todd Davenport and Sierra Williams with the Orangeburg County Economic Development Commission. They're with us.
Nice to see you.
I think they also have a intern from South Carolina State as well.
Okay.
Todd, would you like to?
Thank you for letting us kind of interject in here, but I wanted to introduce our intern, Alyssa Davis Hudson, who's been working with us over the summer, and we hope she'll be able to keep working with us as you know throughout the school year. Alyssa is an engineering student at South Carolina State, and so there's two reasons we want to introduce her. One, just to let everybody know how highly regarded, or how highly we regard South Carolina State and what a great asset they are to Orangeburg County, and just the talent and the folks that are out there. So that's one point I want to make. And the other one is, we'll talk about Alyssa a little bit. She's doing a couple of projects for us, and she's working really closely with DPU and using her engineering skills and training, and she's put together a phenomenal data sheet of what kind of capacities all the utility providers has, and very, very helpful. So I just want to let y'all know that that's kind of the quick little overview of what you're doing, and let her talk about her projects. herself, but as an introduction, she's an outstanding student. She's a top engineering student at South Carolina State University, a rising senior. She's the chapter president of the National Society of Black Engineers. She has interned with South Carolina Department of Transportation, and she's now currently, working on several projects for us. So just briefly, Alyssa, if you tell the council and what you're doing. Thank you.
First off, I would like to just thank council in general for all your efforts and what you do in the community. As a resident of the community for 99% of the year, as a student at South Carolina State. But as Ty said, I am working with the OCDC over the summer just to help them with data collection and as well as some conceptual site plans for some of the industrial parks and sites that we have. I'm just blessed to be able to get this opportunity to work for them, and I'm just soaking it all up to hopefully bring back to the community.
Thank y'all again.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Council, for your consideration is item number 4, appointment to the Employee Grievance Committee. We currently have a vacancy in the committee, and it has been recommended that Mr. LaShawn Schuler of the Service Department serve the unexpired term ending June 4th, 2028. So for your consideration, we offer Mr. LaShawn Schuler as an appointee to the Employee Grievance Committee.
Council, are there any discussions about, is it Mr.?
Yeah, Mr.
Mr. LaShawn Schuler, is there any discussion about him being on the grievance committee? If not, we would like to entertain a motion.
Mayor and council, I move that we select Mr. LaShawn Schuler to fill the vacancy on the grievance committee.
Motion has been made by Councilman Kidd,
Second.
second by Councilman Kalu. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The next item for your consideration is a resolution approving the city administrator to negotiate and enter a contract with RSH Sign Group for the Stevenson Performing Arts Center marquee. As you all may recall, the city received a $250,000 grant from the Department of Commerce. Mr. Gillian Frierson was very instrumental in helping us to receive that grant award. It was decided that the funds would be expended on a marquee, a full facade marquee that will help vitalize or revitalize that area along with the Stevenson Auditorium. We put out a request for proposals. We received 3 qualifying bids. RSH Sign Group received the highest number of points based on evaluation criteria, and it is our recommendation to you all that the contract be awarded to RSH Sign Group.
Council, are there any discussions about this award? Yes, sir, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Is it a two-sided sign?
It is a
Marquee.
it is a full facade sign, so it will stretch from one end of the
Thank
building
you.
to the other. It's digital LED. It is top of the line.
Any questions?
No.
I had a question. So the total amount is roughly $239,000 for the sign. And I understand that's a grant that will be covering that amount, but what happens to the remainder of those funds from the grant?
I think they will go back to the Department of Commerce unless they give us permission for other uses, which we can request.
Yes.
At this time, I just want to thank the grant provider for
Yes.
helping us to secure this kind of funding for Orangeburg. The more grants we can get in here, the faster we'll move to putting marquees and other things up so there will be no reason we will not know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Very good.
So, and the marquee can be used for just informational
Yeah.
purposes for anything that's going on in the city, not necessarily at Stevenson. So it is quite large and
Yeah, it looks
cannot be
great.
missed.
Thank
Are there
you.
any more discussions? We'd like to entertain the motion. Oh, wait, excuse me, let me read the resolution, please. Resolution approving the city administrator to negotiate, enter into contract with RSH Sign Group for the Stevenson Performing Arts Center marquee and providing for other related matters. Let me entertain a motion.
Mayor and council, I move that we approve the contract with the RSH Group and the grant for
Motion,
the marquee.
motion has been made by Councilman Kidd,
Second.
second by Councilman Grievous. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The next item for consideration, for your consideration, is first reading of an ordinance amending the budget for the city of Orangeburg for the fiscal year October 1, 2025 through September 30th, 2026. This is our annual budget amendment. We do this each year. And the current budget is $25,960,000. As of August 3rd, the city has spent approximately $20,100,000, which is 77% of the budget. Obviously, we still have 60 days left. The current estimate for the amended budget is $23,709,310. Of course, this is subject to change within the next 60 days and may change prior to third reading. So we will likely adjust that number. But for first reading purposes, we ask that it be amended from $25,960,000 to $23,709,310.
So I just want to reiterate, we are anticipating that we will come in under budget this year.
Yes, ma'am. As it currently stands, and keeping our fingers crossed, we look like we're going to be approximately $2 million under budget.
Any more discussions? Okay, and we're gonna read the ordinance, an ordinance amending the budget for the city of Orangeburg, South Carolina, for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2025, and ending September the 30th, 2026. Okay.
I move that we accept the amendment as stated.
Motion's been made by Councilman Grievous,
Second.
second by Councilman Kidd. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The next item, agenda item number 7, is first reading of an ordinance adopting a budget for the city of Orangeburg for the fiscal year October 1, 2026 through September 30th, 2027, establishing the Hillcrest Golf Course Enterprise Fund and renaming the Service Department to the Maintenance Department. And so I want to take a moment for your benefit and that of the public to provide some highlights as it relates to the recommended budget proposal. Again, we are suggesting that we rename and add to the functions of the Service Department, rename it to the Maintenance Department. So currently, I think there are some inefficiencies as it relates to the way the Service Department operates with other departments in the city. For example, Parks and Rec is responsible for doing certain landscaping. The Service Department is responsible for doing certain landscaping. So in an effort to increase,
Excuse me, the air conditioner is we had trouble with the air conditioner, and it was frozen, and then it's unthawing. So if y'all want to come up here where Chief Austin is sitting, the young ladies, y'all come up here on the front row. Y'all, would y'all allow them to sit? That's what's going on.
Well, one of the
It was
proposals we
frozen.
have in the budget is money
It's
to
not-
replace this air conditioner.
It's not leaking in here now,
That
I
is the
gotta
truth.
get this straight. It ain't leaking, it's just that the air conditioner was frozen, they got
Yeah.
worked on, and it's just, the water's dripping. Yeah.
Certainly my apologies.
You okay, Clayton?
We just don't want to get on the
You all right, Mr. Taylor? How about you, Daniel? All right, okay, all right then. We can carry on now.
Okay, sorry about that. But as I was saying, that we wanted to try to decrease any inefficiencies we have in terms of the operations. So I was saying, for example, the Parks and Rec Department is responsible for certain landscaping in the city, as is the Service Department. What we want to do is make the Maintenance Department, the new service, the Service Department, which we will rename the new Maintenance Department, responsible for all landscaping in the city. They will also be responsible for all building maintenances within the city. So again, it's a consolidation of services in an effort to be more efficient. So that is one proposal that we have as a part of the budget agenda. The other is Hillcrest Golf Course. As you might recall, about 3 or 4 years ago, the auditing firm that we were using at the time recommended that we put Hillcrest into the general fund for accounting purposes. We are now recommending that we take it back out as an enterprise fund because of the new agreement that we have with South Carolina State. It'll make the accounting cleaner and easier to follow. And it's just better from an accounting standpoint based on the recommendations that we have internally. And so this budget ordinance would also do that and separate, again, Hillcrest into an enterprise fund like the airport is an enterprise fund. Any questions about that before I proceed? Yes, sir.
You mentioned the Hillcrest. I was going to ask you, the two recommendations that you're making tonight, that's part of the audit we had last time for internal reorganization. That's part of it, right?
The recommendations
Yes.
that I'm making, no, sir, the maintenance department was not part of, that's just something that we have observed and like I said, it's an inefficiency that we can improve upon. So that is just my personal recommendation to you all. As far as the enterprise fund, that's more of an internal recommendation by our finance department and finance experts that it needs to be pulled out as a separate enterprise fund, especially in light of the agreement that we made with South Carolina State last year.
Okay, so are we going to revisit the result of the audit that was done last time?
Yes, the auditor, you're talking about the upcoming, yes, we have plans for the auditors to present to you all the audit.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it's been a while now, we need
Yes.
to see some.
We will have them on the agenda.
Okay.
Sydney, I want to say this just on behalf, for the public's sake. At one time, service was under,
Parks and Rec. I'm sorry, Public Works.
At one time. And you all know that in the service department, with the service and public, we have to buy some of the same tools, same equipment, and to be more efficient and to have, good budget in the end. We are combined, they can use the same, we had to buy 2 lawnmowers for both things. And so he is, I think that was, that was, it's not to cut nobody out their job, that's not what we, but I mean, sometimes you have to make calls to be more efficient
Yeah.
going on in the future.
It's just going to require a kind of reorganization.
Yeah,
Consolidation, yeah.
Right,
That's a good move.
yes.
And to be clear, you said that the maintenance area will handle all landscaping. However, we still have an outside contract for some landscaping,
Yes,
correct?
we're still continuing to pursue that. We did an assessment, an analysis of the outsourcing. Thus far, we've saved about $270,000 in outsourcing landscaping services. So we'll continue to explore that as we move forward.
And Ms. Greaves, sometimes when they out working, they do combine and work together anyway, if it all depends on how big the project is.
Okay, so now I'd like to get into the actual budget ordinance and first start off by pointing out some ongoing challenges for the city. So our assessment value for the city dropped 2.4% for 2026. That's the overall value of property, real property in the city. So with that drop, it cost us about $140,000 in lost property tax revenue. Property tax collection rate has been down from 95% to 90% thus far. We're getting it's slower to get that revenue in. That's a conversation that an ongoing conversation I've been having with the county, but the delays thus far is approximately costing us about $400,000. But we hope that collection rate will increase. We have a challenge in terms of deferred maintenance of aging infrastructure and capital needs, as you all see. We have things that need to be replaced, like the HVAC systems in several buildings, this building included, Stevenson as well. And of course, everybody's aware of this, the economic environment in terms of inflation continues to increase the cost of goods and services. We did an analysis that over the past 5 years, there's been a 22% cost increase in the CPI. So inflation has certainly negatively impacted the city as it has all of us. So what we are proposing is that we continue to work the 5-year financial plan. This would be year 2. As part of the plan, we were proposing to reduce our overall number of employees through attrition from 180 in fiscal year 2026 to 170 in fiscal year 2027. However, after meeting with our directors and seeing their needs and wanting to make sure that we have enough employees to provide the services that our citizens deserve, we are recommending that decrease be from 180 to 175 instead of 170. We're also recommending a millage increase. So the current millage rate is 109 mills. That included a rollback that was done a year or two ago. So we are recommending a 10 mil increase, which would generate about $450,000 to go toward really public safety needs and some of the infrastructure needs that I mentioned earlier. What this property tax increase would amount to is about $40 to $43 a year on a $100,000 home. There also are a number of increases related to the master fee schedule. So for example, the residential sanitation, we're recommending that we increase that from $20 a month to $25 a month. That will still put us lower than all of the private sector sanitation fee services that we are aware of, and it puts us pretty much smack in the middle, if not a little bit lower than comparable municipalities. Business license rates, we're recommending that being changed. We're not recommending any new debt for 2027. We talked about the employee compensation program, which would now be based more on merit. We've allocated some funds to do the statutorily required comprehensive plan. And so the total budget that we're recommending is $26,734,000 $984. That would include a total general fund operating costs would be down by 2.1%. It would go down by $500,000, but the majority of that increase would be $1.3 million, which would go toward capital costs, capital improvements that we need. We're also looking at coming up with a plan. I know Chief and DPS and HR are working on a plan as we speak to reduce overtime. We talked earlier about the restructuring. We're reducing a couple positions in recreation, but in terms of DPS, we're adding a shift corporal and 3 officers added to patrol, make sure we're trying to provide them with the staffing levels that they need. We are doing continued replacement and expansion of body cameras and police safety equipment, ongoing vehicle replacements. We're recommending $38,000 for a kennel for rescue animals, $400,000 for patrol vehicles and equipment, and $74,000 for safety equipment, which would include rifle plate shields and SWAT vests. As far as the fire, we are recommending $800,000 to go toward refurbishment of 2 fire engines. And of course, you all approved earlier this year approximately a little over $800,000 to purchase a new fire engine. And that has been tremendously needed. As far as Public Works is concerned, we're recommending we hire an additional mechanic for the garage. Good mechanics, as you know, are difficult to come by, and we have a large fleet, and our mechanics do an excellent job, but they need help. And so having an additional person in the garage would go a long way in helping them reduce some of their repairs. We are recommending $220,000 be allocated for replacement of a grapple truck for Public Works. A couple other highlights. We have a $235,000 allocated for IT systems that are end of life, and these systems they're mandatory. They have to be replaced. Some of them are related to CJIS, which is a federal FBI requirement, so we don't really have the option of not replacing a lot of these IT requirements. And of course, IT changes almost daily, and it's just difficult to try to keep up, but it's something that we have to do. I talked earlier about HVAC replacement, and we're recommending allocating $100,000 to replace the HVAC system here in this building, as you can see, and at Stevenson. We have a number of HVAC repairs that are replacements that need to be made there. So those are just some of the general highlights that I wanted to point out. Again, we are recommending a total budget of $26,734,984. This is about a 3% increase over last year's budget, but again, the vast majority of that increase is going toward capital improvements. Happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Avery,
Yes, sir.
you also have the mindset of hiring a CFO.
Yes, that we are in the process of, we've hired a consultant who is conducting interviews as we speak, and are currently in the middle of that process.
What is the anticipation date of hiring one?
Oh, honestly, Councilman Kalu, when we get the right person, I don't want to lock us into a date that Obviously, the sooner the better, but I want to make sure that we have the right person.
Yeah, because I was just looking at the numbers, what impact the CFO will have on your new budget if we hire somebody tomorrow. Because I was going through the numbers and I said, I need to ask you the impact of hiring a CFO now.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss if I didn't, I want to thank Daniel Driggers, who's the budget analyst at DPU. He's done a tremendous job of helping out the finance department and helping pull all of this together. So we really want to thank him for his services and DPU, other DPU employees as well, Josh and Lauren and Mariska in our group.
Thank you.
I just wanted to piggyback off of what Dr. Kalu just said just a moment ago. So of these 175 positions, does that include the CFO position?
Yes, it does.
It does, so that's already included in the budget.
Yes, and it also, and I failed to point this out, it also includes a fire training officer position that was recommended by DPS, by our fire services, as an important position that they need.
And while I'm asking questions, so did we take a look at what it would look like if we did not increase the millage rate or did not increase it by 10 mils?
Yes, I mean, so essentially we, like I said, the 10 mils is recommended because it's in line with our plan. It would provide approximately $450,000 to put toward capital improvements specifically related to DPS. However, if you all decided to go in another direction or less of an increase, we just have to find ways to make that up elsewhere, either delay some capital improvements or just make cuts elsewhere.
Thank you, Mayor. Two questions. We've been operating the finance department how long like it is right now?
I think since, I want to say last October was when, I think it was about, was it last October that, 2 years? 2 years, I'm sorry, okay. All these days are running together, so 2 years, I'm sorry.
I don't know the day-to-day of it, but seemingly whatever's there is working, let's just say, well, and we're coming up with numbers and things are changing. And what would it benefit us to hire a CEO versus letting it stay just like it is?
Well,
CFO.
Like I said, we've gotten a lot of assistance from Daniel, Josh, and Lauren. Those are DPU employees. Oh my gosh.
It'll be all right.
Yeah. Who have obviously their own duties at DPU. So, but we've been relying on them to assist and help out as we continue to move forward. So I do think it would be beneficial for us to have someone who's on the ground day to day, whose sole job is the city's finances, to be responsible for the city's finances.
Thank you. I said two questions, but that was two questions.
Mr.
Here's the third one, is that with the sanitation department, we're increasing the rates of sanitation.
Yes, both residential and commercial.
Now, we're doing that, and the persons who work in sanitation, what are we doing for them, increasing them? Those persons who work in the sanitation department, you have to take your time to go out and see and pat on the back and see them. They are the persons who are they're down in the, I don't need to say, but what are we doing for them? If we're gonna get a department that's gonna receive more funding, more money than the workers in that department, employees in that department, staff in that department, what would they get?
Well,
New equipment?
Yes, definitely, we could use that money toward the purchase of new equipment. Like I said earlier, we're recommending, I think it was $220,000 to replace a grapple truck. We recently purchased a sanitation vehicle, I think it was a year or two ago. And we probably will need another one here soon enough. But yeah, those funds are so we could continue to provide the services that we've been providing. Like I said earlier, cost of living, CPI inflation, all of that stuff has gone up, and that affects us, affects the city, our services, and what we have to pay for it, just like it affects anybody else.
So true, but the sanitation person, their rates are low to start with. They're low, and we want to keep them. And you can talk, we can talk about hiring or whomever. We may lose them. But if you could lose those persons working in that sanitation department, can you imagine?
Yeah.
If 5 of them don't work on a certain day, they be out there humping. End of the conversation. I've talked long enough.
I very, very much appreciate all of our employees, but certainly our sanitation employees, because like you said, if for whatever reason sanitation does not get picked up, we hear about it, and rightfully so.
Let me go back and finish what I'm saying. Annette just brought up a point in terms of the percentage. You said 3% increase.
For,
The
For the-
overall budget?
oh, yes,
Right,
no,
for our
yeah, basically, 3% increase, yes, you're right.
So, and I go back to the question I asked you before in terms of the audit that was done for the city. Don't you think if you bring your recommendation ahead of time, that can also help with our budgeting? I know this is the first reading, but the recommendations that were made, by the group, should also help us when we determine whether to pass the budget at the final stage or not.
Okay.
So what if we cut the 3% or 4% into half? What impact would that have on the budget? Because I'm just thinking in terms of when the public sees the numbers, I mean, they may think that they're trying to tax them to the limit. But we've done an audit and we have the recommendations made, but we have not implemented that, and there's no recommendation since we did the audit. So I think that we need to have a recommendation and move along with it anytime we talk in terms of money, because that should also help us.
I had a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
What was the total amount on the plates for public safety, the plate carriers?
The safety equipment, the rifle plates?
Yes, sir.
So that would include plates and SWAT vests for $74,000.
And how many vests is that, do you know?
I don't know right offhand. I can obviously get that information. I don't know if I'm being told 12.
12, okay. Looking at this sheet here, I see the forensic service unit is down to 70,000. What happened to that? Is that something?
I'm glad you brought that up. So the forensics lab is another thing we talked about in our budget discussions. So currently we spend anywhere from about $650,000 to $800,000 a year on the forensics lab. It's our recommendation that we transition the lab. Right now, it was when the forensics lab came into fruition, it was kind of presented to, I think, you all and the public that it would be some type of revenue generation. Unfortunately, that has not occurred to this point. We don't expect that it would ever generate the revenue necessary to cover the operating costs, but to this point, it's been really low in terms of revenue generation. Now, I do know that that the folks over at the forensics lab are working hard to try to make relationships or form relationships with other local governments, also like SLED, to provide services that they can generate some revenue. But at this point, I don't think that would be significant enough to cover the operating costs or make a real dent into the operating costs.
So what is the 70,000 for? I mean, you saying you get rid of the lab, or?
It's to help with the transition.
So is that reducing it down to one employee, or what?
Is it one employee? Yeah, one employee.
I've said it before and I'll say it again, you know, public safety is something that's not, you know, a revenue generator. You
Right.
know, people out writing tickets, it's for the general public and the citizens. And I just don't see getting rid of the forensic service unit. You know, if it solves one crime a year, you know, what is that worth to our citizens? I just, especially after reading those letters of support from Claflin, I feel like it's just not a good thing for us to cut that, in my opinion. With the surplus funds we have, if that happens, would that be something that we could use those funds to keep that open?
That will be a decision that y'all could make.
think if we
It would
do
be
end
my
up-
recommendation that we continue along the plan to make sure that we continue to grow and bust our financials, but that's ultimately a council decision.
Yeah. If we end up with a surplus, I think you could eliminate the 10 mil tax increase. You could keep that forensic service unit going. I just think that's a good thing with the partnership they have over at the colleges. It was pretty passionate letters some people wrote about that forensic service unit. Just my opinion.
Go ahead.
Councilman Jordan, you just brought it out. Department of Public Safety is not a revenue generating, it's not, and it'll never be for no. But the forensic lab was supposed to be, just didn't have the right people running it. Or maybe it had the right people running it, but they didn't run it right. As many people was in the forensic lab. We should have been the #1 forensic lab in the country, not the state of South Carolina. We had enough people there to run it. They got paid well. But they didn't produce no value to us. So I can go along with you about 75%, Councilman Jordan, as saying that the forensic lab should hold tight, but in holding tight, we must have somebody in there who has the consciousness of knowing that it is a business. It is not a traffic patrol where you're waiting for somebody to come along to give a speeding ticket. You have to go out there and generate, and that just never happened. And what, it was 7 people there working?
6 or 7.
And they got paid. Okay, thank you. But I'm 75% along with you, Councilman.
That's better than none.
But I'm only one.
Well, I want to add this to the comment. When you look at the budget and you analyze the budget, and you are leaders of the entire city, you have to look at the cuts. Nobody likes cuts. But if the city administrator have studied this budget and bring a recommendation that where he can cut, because I've sat here a long time, and you have to, and when what we gone through with the budget last time, we don't want to be there again. And he has brought the recommendation to us. So we have to open our minds and think widely, because we have to have a balanced budget. And when we established that forensic lab, it was a partnership. It wasn't just the city, it was a partnership there. That was the main reason Dr. Sandra Glover wrote that for Claflin and for DPS, to have a partnership. We can't wait until we come now and everybody want to stretch out and do outreach now. We do outreach all along. All along you do outreach to try. Outreach is what I mean by outreach. You do outreach to how am I going to further this? Every day you get up and you do outreach. So the outreach have not been done. And we have not received any funds. Did we receive any funds for Claflin? I want to speak for them now.
No, but you know, Claflin, it's housed on
Right.
Claflin's
That's it. And
campus.
so the outreach have not been done, and we at a point now, we have to have a balanced budget. And our administrator have studied this, and he's bringing this to us, and we have to think along those lines. We can't get in the weeds now and and get dark. We gotta stay focused where the light is, so that we can, or at the end, we can balance the budget, cause that was our big problem.
On the forensic service unit, what does that $70,000 cover? That's just one employee? I mean, that's not gonna be able to, any equipment or supplies?
Yeah, I
or
think
use? What is that person gonna be doing?
Help and transition primarily.
Give some money to, I ain't gave a penny.
Transition into unemployment or?
I wouldn't put it like that, but helping close the facility, helping make sure that, that everything is taken care of in terms of that. But there are employees that can go back into DPS in other positions at DPS.
So how many people will lose their job?
We're talking three? Is it three? Three.
How many?
Three. Oh, four?
I thought they was going back into the office.
Not all, about half, a little less than half.
I just want, go ahead.
Well, we need officers at public safety. Why not lose them? Why not
Integrate.
convert them over to public safety?
Well, I don't know, I won't speak for chief and colonel, but I don't know that every person has the skill set to be an officer. I'll let y'all kind of speak to that.
Well, they may not know, they might, because they definitely didn't have no scope on what they were doing.
Mr.
Yeah,
Avery,
yes, sir.
excuse me. I know they don't do toxicology over there, do they? Because I worked with SLED before, so I don't think they do toxicology, they just do blood analysis. So how many areas, coming back to what he's trying to say, how many areas, if we end up downsizing, let me use the word downsizing, not transition. If we end up downsizing that department, what will it do to our criminal investigation area? That's also for you.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, if we eliminate the forensics unit, we would then revert to sending our evidence to SLED for analysis.
What's the current backlog at SLED?
We don't have a backlog. SLED has the backlog.
Right, what's the current backlog at SLED?
About 2,500, and those are criminal assault cases.
So only with criminal assault cases?
Yes. Now, it may be that they would ask us to do other analysis, because we have 3 DNA analysts. We have 1 chemist, and then, of course, we have the officers who are assigned to the forensics unit, the crime scene investigator, Lieutenant Dantzler, who oversees the lab, and Ms. McCardle, who is our evidence technician.
Chief,
Yes, sir.
I know the hospital is doing DNA free on anybody. Is there any way we can partner with the hospital? Has anybody, reached out to them?
We have not had that discussion, but it is something we could explore.
So you're saying there's no backlog on like drug analysis or anything at SLED?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
What was discussed with us was whether we would be able to assist SLED with the criminal sexual assault cases backlog.
But if you shut the lab down and you have to start taking everything to SLED, I think maybe what Ms. Grievous was saying is, what's the time frame on getting stuff back?
Well, it ranges, could be 3 months, 6 months, could be a year. A lot of times, if it's an emergency or urgent case, typically either I or Colonel Connor will call Chief Keel and make an appeal for a case to be moved up.
Let me
terms of
just
priority.
ask here, how many cases do we do a year?
I would have to get that information for you, Ms. Kitt, because I don't have it with me right now.
I mean, is it a lot, or, because we're talking about cutting something, we need to look at how many we do, and if we could figure out how many people we need to do what we have to do.
Well, our DNA analysts, our chemists are very efficient. So they handle the cases that we bring to them very quickly. And when we receive other cases from jurisdictions around us, they handle those efficiently. So I have not heard anyone complaining about a backlog with us.
I think the forensics lab is, if we don't look at it as a revenue generator, but look at it as what it's doing for our community and our citizens, and it's helping us, in essence, solve crimes.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think that's the true sense of why the forensics lab is present. So if we look at, there are grants that the forensic lab, I think, receives and can still be eligible to
for, yes,
receive
ma'am.
to help support this unit. But when we talk about cutting the forensics lab, we have to look at how that impacts our citizens, not just our dollars. And I think it's worth our citizens having this forensics lab. Hopefully, they will never need it, but if it's a situation where they do, then I think it's worth having it present where we're not filtered into a system where there are backlogs that we know exist
Yes, ma'am.
with various crimes. So I know it may help us in terms of our bottom line, but what's more important to me is our citizens and what it does for our community.
I just want to echo off of what Ms. Grievous said. You know, when you take somebody who's a victim of a crime, whether it be like we're talking about a criminal sexual conduct or something, and I mean, this disgusting crimes, when you have to wait, years and years for that to come back, you're re-victimizing that person. When you put them back in front of a judge and a jury, I mean, that's something we need to get. I mean, I just think about it as my own family, which, the whole city, I guess, is my family, but my own
Yes.
immediate family. And I mean, what would I want, for my family? You want to get these crimes solved quickly, and let's be efficient and let's move this stuff on. Nobody wants to re-victimize somebody.
And when we talk about bottom line in terms of what the partnership was supposed to truly be, we would be remiss if we said that Claflin is not giving anything, because we know the forensics lab is housed at Claflin. And I'm not speaking as a Claflin employee right now, but just as the fact of the matter, the unit is housed at Claflin. I don't think we're paying any utilities. I think Claflin is handling that. Right. It may not have been the exact dollar amount that we hoped for, but they are giving something with the partnership. But again, I've said my piece.
That's all right. The bottom line is that we're going to have a setback in the investigation. Yeah.
Well, obviously, if council wants us to look at other options, that's what we can do. We have to find the funds elsewhere, and that's perfectly fine. We will come back with other options for you. And you're right, Councilwoman Grievous, Claflin has been an excellent partner as far as this is concerned. And so if it's the will of the council, we'll go back and find.
Yes, the quality of life for our citizens. That's what we have. Quality of
Absolutely.
life. And that's what we want.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments regarding the budget?
Anybody? Questions, comments?
Obviously, this is first reading, and if you,
First reading.
you know, there'll be
Okay.
plenty of opportunity for any other suggested revisions.
Okay, we're gonna read the, ordinance. If no more questions or comments?
Go ahead.
An ordinance to approving the budget for the city of Orangeburg, South Carolina for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2026 and ending September 30, 2027, establishing the Hillcrest Golf Course Enterprise Fund and renaming the service department as the maintenance department. We'd like to entertain a motion.
Mayor and the council, since this is the first reading and subject to amendment, I make a motion for us to pass the first reading of the ordinance adopting budget for the city of Orangeburg for the fiscal year October 1, 2026 through September 2027, establishing the Hillcrest Course Enterprise Fund and renaming the service department as the maintenance department.
Motion has been made by Councilman Kalou,
Second.
second by Councilman Kidd. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And can I say something?
Hold on, Kalou. Let me carry the motion. 1, 2, 3. You
In favor?
in favor? You're in favor?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Ayes have it, the motion is carried.
I just want to let the public know that the second reading is where you can voice out your opinion. To look at the budget and then come, if you have anything to say about the budget, to come to the meeting next time. August 18?
Yes, sir.
Yes, August 18. Make sure you present your viewpoint.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Item number 8.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Item number 8 under new business is the first reading of the ordinance to consider zoning district map change from A1 residential, single unit district to B3 neighborhood business district for property belonging to Donald G. and Stephen M. Atkins, located 1374 St. Matthews Road, tax map number 074-18-009-005.000. This item was discussed at the June Planning Commission meeting, and we also held a public hearing at that meeting. We sent out the required notices. I think about 85 notices were sent out to surrounding properties that were contiguous to this particular area. And at the public hearing, the developer spoke and talked about his plans for a drive-through coffee shop at that location. There was one member present from the community, but she chose not to speak. After hearing from the developer, the Planning Commission voted to recommend the zoning district map change to City Council.
Are there any discussions on this ordinance? Any discussion?
I have one question. It's drive-through only, no parking and walking in? So
It's
just-
drive-through only.
Okay.
Okay.
I do have a question,
Yes,
Ms. Williams. That's the property at the corner of,
It's the corner of Chestnut and St. Matthews Road. It's right across from Walgreens.
Walgreens.
Yes.
right, and there's a house
Next to it, yes.
next to it, there's a house next to it, and there's a house directly behind it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the question that I have, has someone or had the developer or whoever wanting this property, have they had conversation with the person to the left of them and directly behind?
I cannot speak to if they have spoken with them directly. I do
Mm-hmm.
know that we sent notices out to the persons in that area to let them know of what
Of what's being
was,
proposed?
what was taking place, but
Okay.
I don't know if they've spoken with them directly.
Okay, so you have no idea what their conversation, if there was a conversation?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It would just be, from my perspective, curious to know, because somebody's coming to my front door or to my back door, I would like to know who that is.
Well,
And what they are doing, because I may not want them there.
yes, ma'am. Oh, no,
And
I
I need to have,
completely
and I
understand.
guess, speaking on behalf of property owners, I just feel that they should have input as to who and what is coming in their presence.
No, I completely understand, and the developer will be coming at the next, if this moves forward, the developer has plans to come at the next, at the second reading to talk about all of that. And hopefully, because we'll have a public hearing at that next meeting, if this moves forward, the public will have a chance to voice their concerns.
Now, when you come down St. Matthews Road, coming from the hospital, and you make the left at that light, right, that house, that's Eloise's house.
Oh, okay.
That's Eloise's house. I'm sure Eloise would have been up here if she had a problem. She got but she don't live, she got a beauty shop in there.
It's a beauty
Oh,
shop.
yeah, she got a beauty shop in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she don't live,
Business
that's
is
right
there.
there.
Already.
Yeah, yeah. When you got to come, come from the hospital, make that left, that yellow looking house. Oh, you know Eloise. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I would just want to know that the actual property owners were notified. I know what happened in a previous meeting, so I just want to make sure that it was an updated list.
I can assure you that the updated list was used this time.
Awesome, thank you.
And Ms. Spears said, that's Mr. Hannah area, he said, hey, them your folks. Okay, any more questions, concerns about this ordinance? An ordinance to approve the change to the zoning district map from A1 residential single unit district to B3 neighborhood business district for the property belonging to Donald G. and Stephen A. Atkins, located at 1374 St. Matthews Road, tax map number 0174 1809 005 and provided for related matters. We'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Mayor and council, I move to change to zoning district map from A1 residential single unit district to B3 for the neighborhood business district for the property of Donald G. and Stephen M. Atkins located at 1374 St. Matthews Road.
Second the motion.
Motion been made by Councilman Kent, second by Councilman Hannah. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 2, 5. 2, 5. 2, 5. 2 opposed, Ms. Whitney, Ms. Knox.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna ask Mr. Epton to come with the building code official update information.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
I'm going to be quick. I know y'all got a lot more business before you tonight. Wanted to bring your attention to a couple of things on the building permits that we've sent out. The totals for June are increasing as far as the number of permits that were issued. And we're tracking pretty close to what last year's numbers were looking like. So with the month of June, the total amount of invested, I guess you could look at it and say, was $2,025,451.60 being invested back into the city of Orangeburg with these renovations and new construction that's going on. So again, looking at it from, based on last year's figures, we're tracking pretty close to what we were doing last year. So it's actually an increase from what the previous years have been. We have actually had 17 new single-family homes since October the 1st, pull permits. That's about a $3 million investment in the city. We've had 2 multifamily and 1 commercial, new commercial business being developed here in the city for a $9.5 million investment within the city limits. We did roughly a total of 60 building inspections for the month of June. And that was, most of those inspections was handled by one person, not a team of inspectors, one inspector. Wanted to give you a little more information on code enforcement since there was a bunch of questions last month. This month for June, we've sent out 81 code enforcement letters for violations anywhere from weeds to vehicles, abandoned vehicles, commercial vehicles being parked in residential areas, condemnations on substandard housing. With those letters that we've sent just for this month, 52 of the owners of those properties complied on their own. So we didn't have to move forward with any other type of enforcement. We did, however, have to send out 16 work orders to cut 16 lots that were not being maintained by the owners. We sent out 14 citations, or we delivered 14 citations to folks that did not comply with our ordinances. And we also sent out 16 invoices for the code enforcement that we did on the 16 lots. And that totaled around $3,500. We got 4 houses that are coming up in this month, August, to be torn down by our city service department. So they're getting ready to get those taken down. We worked with the county on getting landfill charges waived, which helps out tremendously with these demos. That's we try to keep on top of the properties within the city. I had wanted to give you a list of the number of properties within the city limits. Unfortunately, I was not able to do that this time, but I will work on that for next time. Yeah, if you got any questions or any concerns on any properties, please let me know. If you let me know prior to our council meeting, I can definitely have that information pulled together and be able to give that to you at that meeting.
Well, David, I just want to say it's looking good.
Well,
I was driving down past Miss Knott's house, and I see you done took that house down in there. You saw it, Miss Knott, back there, and you got that lot clean
Oh,
back
yeah,
there.
yeah, looks good.
Back down there by Miss Washington
Yes,
house.
ma'am.
I saw it.
Yes, sir.
I
Yep.
saw it down there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the update. Any update on the merger, that system that you were working on with DPU?
That
and-
would be handled by DPU. We're kind of like the out of the loop No, we're kind of, they're doing all the hard work. And so we're just kind of waiting on them. Once they get all the hard work done, then we'll step in and do our part as far as using the system.
Okay, so I'll ask DPU when they come up here.
Yes, ma'am.
And they may say that it's all on you.
They may. They may.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Epton.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, Mr. Nexon and the GIS team are going to present the next item.
Okay. All right. We have the,
And these are the people who are working with Mr. Epton
Okay.
on the,
On that system?
Yes.
So ask them the question.
and that's in the budget as well, just so you know.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of council. Pleased to be up here in front of you this evening, and I'm very proud to announce that the City of Orangeburg's Department of Public Utilities has been honored with a very prestigious award. It's the 2026 Special Achievement in GIS Award from Esri. Esri is the company that makes the software and promulgates a lot of the best practices in geographic information systems. Selected from thousands of organizations worldwide, our core GIS team, Ms. Yamira Valles Navarez, Tariq Aziz, and Reese Myers were recognized as the Global ESRI User Conference this past month. This award highlights DPU's innovative use of geospatial technologies to map, manage, and modernize utility infrastructure, directly improving service efficiency and decision-making for our entire community. This project is just one of the many examples in ways our talented staff are improving efficiency, raising the level of customer service, and improving safety throughout the department's operations. I would love for you guys to give them a round of applause.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lauren. Here's a little.
And Mr. Mayor, if we could get a picture with you guys and the team.
We just bundle up here.
Yeah.
we can get the council to stand up here.
Yeah.
Hold up, please.
You want them to walk up here with, yeah, why don't y'all step up there with the mayor? And I know we got a lot to do in a short time to do it, so I'll be really brief with what I'm gonna say. Just to piggyback on your comment. We hired Yamira, it's going on 10 years now, isn't it? 9 years, wow. And we hired Tariq about a year and a half ago, or so, and we struck gold with both of them. We got really lucky. And yes, they absolutely have been working with David and his staff. We work closely with Public Works to build garbage, zone and map properties. We work with the police group to map crime and help give reports that are meaningful and impactful for the community. So they're great. Yamir, Tariq, y'all have anything y'all want to say? I appreciate everything y'all do. Lucky to have you.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all so much.
Very good.
Y'all the one that developed that, the system for when you look on the light poles and give you the number, they can tell where the outage at? Y'all developed that? That's on the GIS?
So, Mr. Mayor, members of council, this team is integrated with every department just about in the entire city. But also every division within the DPU has a deep relationship with GIS. Really could not do our jobs without that group if we want to be candid about it. And so what they have done has really benefited not just
the individual divisions, but the entire community that we serve. And so
Great,
that's
great.
how big this is. It's not, we weren't just chasing awards. We did a thing that was necessary to improve our service to our customers and to our team. And it just so happened that we were recognized for it, but they certainly deserve all the credit.
Yes, yeah, wonderful.
All right, Mr. Mayor,
We're ready.
members of council, good evening to the public. I do want to give first reading of our ordinance to amend the budget for operations of the Department of Public Utilities, the City of Orangeburg for fiscal year October 1, 2025 through September 30th, 2026. If council is pleased to do so, I would just ask that you give first reading tonight. As you know, this ordinance could change in terms of the numbers, so I'll certainly have firmer numbers as they clear up before the third reading, and I'll give you those details at that time. I would just ask you to give first reading tonight based on where we are.
Council, are there any discussions on this ordinance from anybody? All right, we're gonna read the ordinance. An ordinance to amend the budget for the operation of the Department of Public Utilities of the City of Orangeburg, State of South Carolina, for the fiscal year October 1, 2025 through September 30th, 2026. We need a motion.
Motion to accept.
Motion made by Councilman Hannah,
Second.
motion.
second by Councilman Hawkins. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Item number 12.
Mr. Members of Council, do want to give first reading tonight to our ordinance to adopt the budget for the 2026-27 year, fiscal year. Before we do so, I'd like to give you some background information and highlights. I know as you recall, we had a pretty in-depth discussion with respect to all of the projects that we have going on. I'd ask the DPU team to stand up and just so you know who they are. Josh Nixon of our administrative group, Daniel Driggers, and myself and Lauren make up the budget team. And then you have Wade Holmes with the electric division, Dave Durgan, gas, Eric Odom, water, and Rachel Cooper representing Richard Labrador for the wastewater division. And then you have Cheryl Lynch, who's over HR, and very also critical part of the budget team as well. But as I go through this, if you have specific questions about projects, I may lean on those guys to help me answer it. That's why I wanted to introduce them before I get going. In terms of this current budget, the recommended budget continues to position the DPU to provide and deliver reliable and affordable power and services to our citizens, the services that they require, demand, and deserve. And so we work under certain priorities as outlined in our strategic plan, which we'll be updating again this year, as I've informed you before. But these priorities include investing in system modernization, which supports future growth. It also is the thing that drives our goal to always be on. Our reliability is so important. We want people to be able to turn the switch and be able to get the power that they deserve and need. And so we want to always be on. We understand that that may not always be possible because of events that occur outside of our hand, but we're investing in the system in a way that creates and builds resiliency. And so if we are not on, if something takes us out, we want to be able to get back on as soon as possible. So we invest in that emergency preparedness throughout the year. We do testing of our skills and our systems to make sure that we're ready to respond
to needs and emergencies as they arrive. I want to give Dave Durgan some credit. He has helped put together several incident responses, and our Chief Austin, his team, I went way back, didn't I? Chief Austin and his team have participated, as well as the county, but we fund those projects so that we can make sure that we know how to coordinate with all of the community partners. Also, we are always planning, so our financial planning and discipline to stick with that plan is so important. That's why we bring to you guys every year a projected revenue spend over a 5-year period. We look at our revenue needs and our projects in a 5 to 10-year block, and we bring to you guys that 5-year projection. And so a part of that, again, we want to maintain a sustainable approach to what we do and how we do it. Investing in our workforce is always going to be a priority. We want to take care of the people who take care of our system, who takes care of the people who pay our bills. Also, I want to point out that some of the ongoing challenges that we deal with in every division, we have aging infrastructure. Our systems in some places are 100 years old or older. We have to take care of those systems. We have to upgrade them, have to make sure that they're available. So our capital spend for the next 5-year block, we are projecting that it's going to be in the neighborhood of $190 to $200 million over the next 5 years. Keep that number in your mind. And as you know, we update those numbers on a yearly basis, so we expect that to grow a little bit over time. But in the next 5 years, we're projected to spend at this point over $190 to $200 million. In this current budget year, our capital projects, we anticipate a $43 million spend on the projects that are imminent and need to be addressed in the upcoming fiscal year and beyond. Also, when you look at our overall financial picture, our reserve fund, we watch that very closely. We are healthy on paper, but when you look at the needs, what we have in the bank of projected to be about $67 million at the end of the year, what we have in the bank will not sustain us when we talk about $200 million in investment needed over the next 5 years. So we have to be mindful about what it takes to take care of our system. Just some highlights in the administrative division. We'll be looking at spending about $1.3 million in electric, $10 million. This is in the current budget. In capital, 4.4 for natural gas, 10 million for water, and wastewater, 2.4 million. I want to stop right there. The wastewater division, as you remember, played a very integral role in us being able to land Farrar, the candy company that everybody's so excited about. We were able to work with South Carolina Department of Commerce to get a grant for $28 million to upgrade our wastewater system to be able to manage what they're going to send our way. Without that, we wouldn't have been able to do it, and we wouldn't have been able to land that group. And without the capable employees that serve in our wastewater group, we wouldn't be able to do it. And so we want to say that your DPU played a very vital role in making that happen. I do want to point out that in this current budget year, the transfer for the city, we increased it from 6.1 million to 9.1 million. As I pointed out to council on a prior occasion, over the next 5 years, that's $15 million that we have increased the transfer to. And over the next 5 years, if you take that whole $9 million, that's $45 million that comes out of the DPU net profit, so that when you add it up to what we have to spend for the $200 million, it is a significant chunk that we need to be mindful of as we go forward and how we manage the transfer. It will, in a negative way, impact the rates if we don't somehow begin to manage that transfer in a more reasonable way. Also, I want to point out that the 9.1 million is about 37% of the net profit. So that is a significant amount that comes out of the bottom line that we really want to make sure we have a plan for going forward. So I know City Council has some really tough decisions to make, but I want to add to the difficulty and just make sure you're aware that one thing connects to the other. And so we need to make sure that we are being mindful of the tension that causes when we are planning for our financial future. Some of the other highlights that I want to point out, our operating income is planned to be about 142 million for the upcoming fiscal year. We anticipate some increase related to the budget, related to the rate increase that I have built into the budget and that we've discussed. I did, if you pull out the paper that I put on your counter at your desk, and I'll let you look at it, but answer any questions that you may have related to it. But just for the public's knowledge, that rate increase will take our water from a residential perspective on inside city residents. It will be an overall increase of 1.6%, and it will increase their inside city rate about $4.57. On the outside city rate, it's about 2.7%, and the overall increase for the outside resident on water and wastewater will be $9.14. So those are the increases for water and wastewater combined. And it's a modest increase. It is in line with what we projected last year. And we want to make sure that you are aware that we work on this on an ongoing basis. So every year we bring to you what we think those projections should look like. I will also point out that the total rate increase will raise about $1.9 million for the DPU in those two units. I'll remind council that in the past history and currently, the DPU has always ran those two groups at about break even. We try to keep them there. We don't make a lot of money. The load is carried primarily by the electric division. The gas division does make money, but the predominant revenue is coming from our electric division, and so we need to keep that in mind with all the things that they are having to do to improve their system as well. I'll stop right there. I know I've said a lot, but I'll stop right there and give council an opportunity to ask any questions as we move forward.
Thank you for that presentation. I know that you propose rate, the electric part of it is not being increased; it stays the same.
That's correct. So
The
electric
gas-
and gas, there are no
No.
proposed increases. This is only on water and wastewater.
Just water and wastewater. The county council was some time ago trying to entertain the idea of approving the data center that should have been coming to Orangeburg County. If they had approved that, what impact would that have on the wastewater and also the water itself? Because I know the system uses a lot of water.
So we have, I spoke with the mayor, and Sydney and I met this morning, and I have a plan to bring some information to council so we can discuss this. But I'll quickly answer your question, Dr. Kalu. With the groups that we have talked with, their would be a great benefit to the city of Orangeburg governmental side and the utility side. And so if you want me to, I can go as deep as you want, but I don't know that if this is the appropriate time. But I will say the impacts that most people believe are really on systems that were probably built many years ago. The things that we are finding out, I just was at a conference a few months ago, and the presentation was on data centers. If you set it up right, it can be a benefit for the community. And I'll leave that at that point, and we'll bring council some information on the groups that we're working with, and let you know how it's going to impact the DPU as well as the city governmental operation as well, and other things that you might have questions about.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
You said traditionally, the cost of water and wastewater is not those are not money-making divisions necessarily. And I know at one point, we weren't even kind of covering the cost that DPU incurs to provide water and wastewater services. So with these increases, where does that put us? You said, if I'm not mistaken, that we would be in a position to make $1.9 million on these services?
The revenue generated would be about 1.9 million. It will not cause us to make a whole lot of money. It will just try to keep us at pace. I will point out, if you look at what we've currently done in the past budgets, a lot of, if you see on the line that looks like we made money in water and wastewater, a lot of that is due to contributed capital, either from the state grants or other groups that have paid us to do things. And it's capital, it's good, it helps, but it's not gonna be an every year revenue that we can depend on. So be mindful of that. When you get your audit, the auditors will point that out as well, that some of what looks like we've made money is not that. It's really contributed capital where we have grants and other things, other revenue sources that have come in that we've used to build things. And it's not indicative of a system that is actually making money at a rate to sustain its operation on its own, so.
And that revenue goes back into those systems?
Yes,
typically.
and just for the council's knowledge, DPU is run as a combined system, so keep that in mind, but ideally, since I've been here now almost 10 years this year, I have hopefully tried to encourage us to get to a place where those things can stand a little bit more on their own, so that every division can cover their own costs that they drive. We're not there yet, and don't know that we'll ever get there, but the goal is certainly in my mind an admirable goal and something that we ought to be thinking about, so that at least we don't inadvertently put too much pressure on the division that makes the bulk of the money to carry the whole load and not be able to reinvest in the system that really carries everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. I'm talking about the whole county, so.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Any more questions in there?
No, I'm good, thank you.
With that, Mayor, with that, I would recommend first reading of this 2026-27 budget.
Okay. I'm gonna read the ordinance. Ordinance to adopt a budget for the operation of Department of Public Utilities of the City of Orangeburg, State of South Carolina, for the fiscal year October 1, 2026 through September 30th, 2027. Adopt and amend electric rates effective October 1, 2026. Adopt, amend water rates effective October 1, 2026. Adopt, amend wastewater rates effective October 1, 2026. Would like to entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Grievous. Second. Second by Councilman Hannah. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, on the next item before you is an ordinance amending section 4 of the department installations, subsection C, water impact fees and wastewater impact fees also were included. Just by way of reminder, I sent council a memo dated July 29, 2026 on water and wastewater impact fees. For the public's benefit, I do want to explain, if you allow me, just a little background on that. The impact fees are one-time fees that we charge new developers or new customers coming onto the system so that they can connect to our system. And it is a way of passing on legitimate costs to those new customers so that they carry their fair share of the load on the system. If we do not do that, then the current customers will bear the burden of those costs. And so we want to make sure that we, at least the best we can, evaluate what that is, and we've done that, and we have brought to you a recommendation that goes along with that. Just so you'll know specifically, the water currently is $300, and wastewater is at $350 for impact fees. That is really low, and you see that in your documentation. But I do want to point out that the City of Orangeburg Department of Public Utilities has not dealt with these rates since 2002, so 24 years ago. Now, I'm going to take my share of the blame because I've been here
10 years.
10 years. Thank you, Dr. Kalu. And so I should have brought this to you at least 6 or 7 years ago, but there were other things that I've been trying to chew on and just kept kicking it down the road. Unfortunately, we are where we are, and we need to address these things as development picks up. We want to make sure that we're passing on the right costs to the right people. And so we are recommending that the city goes from $300 to $1,200 for impact fees on water, and from $350 to $2,670 for impact fees on wastewater. We're also recommending that we adjust our residential equivalent unit. That's a standard measure unit that we use to fairly allocate those costs when you talk about going from a residential to a business or industrial user. And so we're going to recommend dropping those from 400 to 300 REUs. The standard is 300, but let me just point out our system. Mr. Odom has done a water model study that indicates that our system is using about 285, did I get that number right? 275 gallons, million gallons. So per household, 275 gallons per household. And so that helps, being closer to that number helps more fairly distribute the cost, again, to where it needs to be, and in particular to the new folks coming on board. They paid their fair share of the cost as it relates to their impact on the system. I'll take any questions. I know that's a lot, but a couple things I'll point out before I kick it back to you, Mr. Mayor. Again, we haven't updated these fees since 2002. It's only paid by the people who are doing stuff, new stuff on the system. So new customers, new developers. Also, impact revenue is really about taking care of the systems that take care of the service that we provide. Water plant, wastewater plants, pump stations, those things that make the system have the ready available capacity to serve new customers. Yes, ma'am.
Just a question. Are there any plans, as a payment plan, for those persons who will have to get this kind of funds? Are there any payment plan for them?
So,
Will-
Mr. Mayor,
will
Mr.
there
Mayor,
be-
members of council, Councilmember Kidd, we do work with our customers on how they can pay
Right,
these.
yeah, okay.
I will tell you, the majority of these will be paid by contractors and developers who are building homes in our community. Now, as you know, that gets passed along to the residential purchase of those homes, and then the businesses that are coming, they will pay as well. But we do have ways to work with those folks,
Good.
and we do that already. Yeah.
Does this impact the budget in any way that was just passed? I know it's hard to anticipate, who's going to come and need these services, but with the information that Mr. Epting shared earlier and just with what you are anticipating coming down the pipeline, do you see it impacting the budget that was just passed? in first reading?
It will, we don't really have a way of pinpointing it. We can look back and tell you what it might have been, but I will say yes, it will impact the budget. We don't necessarily have those numbers in because we don't, one, you guys got to pass it, but two, we don't know specifically what might happen. We'll find a way to make a projection if that's something that we need to do. But at this point, we want to get the fees to where they need to be, and with the amount of industry coming online, we want to make sure we're already in position to take care of that and not having to be behind the 8 ball.
So with that being said, if you could bring us something for the second
bring you
reading,
some
because
projections.
perhaps a rate increase may not be needed.
Well, just so you know, and I left this off my comments, but it should be in your memo. This stuff, the fees, impact fees, are really dedicated for the capacity for the new plants and the new things that we have to do. They're not for day-to-day operations per se.
Thank you for the
So we
clarification.
want to make sure that we keep that in mind. There's still routine stuff that we have to do on a daily basis. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure we pay for the folks pay for the available capacity that they have when they come onto our system. But they're not necessarily one and the same.
Just fighting for the citizens.
I do appreciate it. I know you do. Yes, sir.
So this, just to be clear, this is, I don't think, it's just for a new customer coming in, and if we don't increase it, our other residents are gonna feel that impact. I mean, it's not like a money-making thing. This is just like when your guys come out
Right.
and they install this stuff to a new resident, this is just covering kind of y'all's cost.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. I do want to mention that we're also looking at adjusting our, not only our impact fees, but also our tap fees. And that is the cost that it costs us to actually go and make a tap for a resident. Again, mostly new customers in that case as well. And we have actual costs that we've paid, and I can bring that to you next time. I looked through my notes and I thought I had it, but I don't have it with me. But we're gonna increase those also on October 1, and the projected increase on those, thank you for that question, because I had a lot of notes. For the water tap fee, $1,300, and the wastewater tap fee, $28.75, impacting most of the same people. Now, there could be a situation where a tap could be reworked on our system, but if it's one of our taps that we install, customer wouldn't have to pay anything. But what we do to get those numbers is we actually track how much it costs on average to put a tap in. And if we do it
again, for less than that, we're causing our customers. And then, Ms. Grievous, it does find its way in the rate because the rest of the customers are subsidizing that work. I know that's a lot of information.
Thank you, Mayor. You won't need that water.
I might.
Now, Mr. Harley, you sent us the information, and I know I sent you back a response.
Yes, sir.
In dealing with these rates, we are lower on the scale.
Yes.
And then I asked that the projection is if we're down that low, middle isn't a bad place to be. But it's only one town had 26 numbers. Now, it could have happened after that. But my work was that other cities who are low now is going to change their rates. I don't know when, but they're going to change their rate. That means we'll be the lowest rate in the state of South Carolina in dealing with the numbers that you gave us.
Yes, sir.
So being low doesn't make more people move here.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't make, what I'm saying, it doesn't help your load any. I'm looking at an increase to what you recommend, not taking it away from you, but let's increase what you presented to us so that we will still be competitive, but you get what you need for the equipment that you need.
So I appreciate that, Mr. Hanner and members of council, and certainly thank you for your support. So what we plan to do is we will reevaluate this number again next year and make a recommendation. But based on the current information, we're comfortable with where we are, and we understand that even though it's going to be on new customers and they pay it somewhere else, we want to make sure that we can defend everything we put forth. And I can stand on City Hall steps and defend what we are representing to you is the necessary move for us without blinking. I don't want to push it just because we are the lowest, but you're right. We do need to make sure that we're on point. And so next year we'll evaluate these numbers more closely and bring a recommendation if it needs to be changed upward.
Now, what I thought about that is that when a person go and ask for a raise on the job and they ask for $1 hour raise, employee be looking, I can't give him $1. So give him 99 cents. Now it goes the opposite. It could be $1.01. Do it now, do it later. It's going to be done. And I'm looking at the efficiency of your organization.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
I appreciate that.
That we need to increase not because it hadn't increased. It's not all on you. You said 10 years. It's before you. And it's not a reasons why it was like that. But we still don't change our position is that it should be increased now. Thank you.
I serve at the pleasure of council, so if that's.
Are there any more questions for Mr. Holly or comments?
On that comment, if I may, say something, Councilman Hanna, when you make your consideration on increase, don't you take in terms of the location? Because if you compare Orangeburg with Greenville, Charleston, or Columbia, that will not be apple to apple because of the status in that area. So if you expect my people here in Orangeburg to pay what Charleston is paying or Greenville, it might be an encumbrance in some of the customers to be able to bring out that money to pay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any more comments, questions? If not, I'm going to read the ordinance. An ordinance amending section 4, department installation, subsections, water, impact fees, sections, wastewater impact fees of the general terms and conditions of Department of Public Utilities.
Mayor and council, I move the adoption of the ordinance amending section 4, department installations, subjection, C, water impact fees and subjection, D, wastewater impact fees of the general term and conditions of the Department of Public Utilities.
Motion has been made by Councilman Kidd.
Second.
Second by Councilman Hawkins. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? One opposed. Ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That is all I have at this time. Thank you.
Our executive session, we will discuss, discussion of employment, appointment, compensation, promotion, demotion, discipline, release of an employee, South Carolina Code, Section 3470A1, Department of Public Safety. Our next item, we will discussion of negotiation incidents to propose contractual arrangements and the receipt of legal advice. South Carolina Code, Section 3470A2, e-bikes, Old City Gym, 1420 Broughton Street. I would like to entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
It's properly moved and
Second.
second, that we go into executive session. Thank you so much for sitting so patient with us, and good night.
Mayor, if I may, I just wanted to make sure that y'all reserve the right to come out of executive session and potentially vote on a matter.
We will, if necessary.
If necessary.
We will come back, and if you would like to wait, you can wait, because it might not be necessary.